Well, I am finally ready. I'm so excited today. I'm finally ready to release my new program today that I've been working on behind the scenes for quite some time for arthritis sufferers.
Oh.
And so to celebrate this, we're going to declare March as our Arthritis Awareness Month. And we have got some amazing new things to deal with joint problems, joint degeneration, deterioration, arthritis. And so the title of our program is going to be called Arthritis, Extinguishing the Fire in Your Joints. And I've been working on this program for quite some time, and I'm finally ready to present it to those that are suffering with joint pain, joint deterioration, and arthritis. And the truth is, that's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people. I mean, we all know people that are suffering with joint deterioration or arthritis, or, that has lots of names, which we're going to talk about today.
And it happens at all ages, too.
It does, and so the first point with arthritis that I want to talk about today is that no one is immune to it. We all have joints. And if you don't pay attention and take care of your joints earlier in life, they will deteriorate. Joints are a mechanical object, just like your tires or your gears in your car, any other mechanical object. And if you drive around with your tires out of balance and alignment, you're going to be buying new ones much earlier because they deteriorate quicker. And just like any mechanical object, if it's not functioning the way it was designed, if it's out of balance, if the gears in your car aren't meeting together just right, they're going to wear out early. And this is exactly the same thing with our joints. And this is why people sort of understand that and usually do maintenance on their car, because it's much easier it's cheaper to maintain your car than it is to buy new tires every few months. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to our bodies, we sort of just let them break down and ignore problems and cover up pain with medication. And we sort of don't do the maintenance on our body like we do on our cars. And the only problem with that is that you can buy new tires if you have to, but when it comes to your health, sometimes it's a one-time shot. So point number one is that we should all be taking much better care of our health than what most people do. Joints are mechanical in nature, and if you have a mechanical problem in your joints that you do not address, they are going to wear out later and develop spurs, arthritis, and deterioration, joint pain, you name it. Whatever the name is. So that's the first thing that I want you to know is just pay attention to taking care of your joints early in life or even in middle life before they get worse. Now, the second point with arthritis is that it's a degenerative condition, meaning that it gets worse over time if not brought under control and addressed early. So if you have mild arthritis now, you should really be paying attention to it and doing things to slow it down so that it's not worse arthritis down the road. So the way joint deterioration works is for every year's worth of time that goes by, my joints might age 3 years. And then the next year that goes by, they might age 5 years. And the next year that goes by, those joints might age 7 years. They're degenerating faster than my body is. We all degenerate. Every part of our body does. But the key is we want your joints to age 1 year for every year that you age, instead of your joints aging 5 years. Mm-hmm. Because that's not going to last. When you get 60 and your joints are that of an 85-year-old, mm-hmm. not a good situation to be in. So that's number one, is we want your joints to age at the same rate as you are and not faster. And that's what degeneration is. Now, don't write this off as being old age. Being old and having joint pain is not necessarily have to be the same thing. Had a patient one time came in and I mean, I hear this from people that are in their 40s. Oh, well, I'm just old, doc. My shoulder's hurting me from old age. That is not the way it's supposed to be. I mean, unless you're in your late 80s, you really should not have that level of joint pain that early in life. Certainly in middle age, you should not start breaking down. Our bodies should not start breaking down and having pain. Had a patient one time swore his shoulder pain was from his old age. And I mean, this guy's in his mid-50s. Oh, well, no, you can't help my shoulder, doc. That's just because I'm getting old. And so I couldn't figure out how to get across to this guy that it wasn't from old age. Mm-hmm. So finally I said, well, listen, do you have any problems with your left shoulder? He said, no problems, just my right shoulder. I said, it's the same age as your left one. And it doesn't have any problems. Your knees are the same age and you don't have any problems with them. So there has to be some kind of damage going on inside that bad shoulder. And finally a light bulb went off in the guy. It's like,
some
yes,
people can be so silly.
So like finally, yes, it's not just from old age. Something is damaged in there that needed to be addressed.
The right one hurts, but the left one doesn't.
So, my thing is just pay attention to your joints and your structure and your health. Listen, one of the saddest things I have to do during my day, during my work day, is when I have to walk into a room and tell a patient that they let their health go on too long and there's no hope for them ever returning to a normal life. One of the worst parts of my day, when you have to look somebody in the eye and tell them that because they procrastinated getting their health problem addressed, they must now get used to a life of being less than what they could be.
And boy, if you're talking about a vehicle and somebody says your engine's shot, you can just run down there to Moss Motors and get your new vehicle.
Right.
You can't go get a new body.
Right. It's a pretty sad time for them and their family and for me as well. I mean, I care about my patients. And when I have to tell somebody that, I don't like it. I don't like having to give that news to somebody. And that's why I always harp on our listeners all the time about pay attention to your health, get problems addressed early. It's because I don't want to have to tell you that you let it go too long. I've had to do that in the past, and it is not a fun day. But we can do some amazing things with these new treatment technologies we have available at our clinics. And, most people think that arthritis is something that, I just take my Tylenol arthritis every morning and that's about all I can do. And then I just keep going on with my day. I can make it to work and back and everything's fine. It doesn't bother me that bad. This does nothing to actually slow the progression of your joints degenerating, which remember is aging faster than you are. So as time goes by, they get worse and worse, and that's how people end up with a disabling health crisis, meaning they have a walker or they walk with a cane or they have joint replacement or they're unable to work. They become disabled. So the way they do that is sort of just popping their Tylenol arthritis and continuing to go on about their day and ignoring it when they're earlier in life. And then later in life, that comes back around and
because you're just camouflaging the pain, and the condition continues to worsen.
Right. Yeah. And so the smart decision is to take action to address it. Most people don't even know that there are things that can be done to slow the progression of arthritis without medication or surgery. And so in March, we're calling for an increased awareness about natural solutions to addressing joint dysfunction, arthritis, and deterioration. And so since this is a progressive disease, treating it early is the best choice. But if you have let it go on too long, this program called Extinguishing the Fire in Your Joints is really a true breakthrough for chronic arthritis sufferers. And then the third thing that I want you to know today is that just because your joints hurt you does not mean that you automatically have arthritis. Mm-hmm. Patients are funny. Sometimes they come in and they'll say, well, doc, I have arthritis. And I'll say, oh, well, which doctor diagnosed you for that? Oh, well, no, my mother-in-law told me that's what it was. Mm-hmm. And so if you have joint pain of any kind, a proper evaluation using our new protocols in this program to determine the proper course of action is really something that we need to look at. And there are hundreds of reasons that you may have joint pain, but only by going through a proper diagnostic protocol can we determine your best course of action. And all of this is in the new program. It's really something special. So before we cut to break, if you want to know more about how to control your arthritis before it gets too far ahead of you, or if it's already gotten the best of you and you're looking for some real amazing new solutions, you want to come hear about this new program called Extinguishing the Fire in Your Joints. And I'm going to be presenting it on March the 5th at the Hilton Garden Inn at 7 p.m. You can register early by calling my office at our regular number, which is 7174 and register. So this program is if you have joint deterioration or arthritis, or you're starting to develop like the nodules in your fingers or the shoulder problems or knees, you don't want to miss it. So we're going to go ahead and cut to break. And when we get back, I have some amazing facts that may help you understand arthritis and how it develops just a little bit better than what you do now.
99.9 KT.